And what's up, everybody? This is Danny taking a look at the brand new 13 megapixel camera on the Samsung Galaxy S4, and I'm going to be bringing you photos and video samples from this huge 13 megapixel sensor. And right off the bat, you can see it takes really good macro photos as well. Sometimes it has a little bit of a problem with focusing issues to get it to focus, but look at the pictures here. Very, very sharp, and you're not losing anything when you crop in. It's got a huge 13 megapixel sensor, so you're going to get a lot of detail from it. So people that want to take shots with this and blow it up, no problem with that whatsoever. And you can see how sharp this is. The B looks really, really good there. The nature photos are a little bit oversaturated, but they really look good that way. And you're definitely going to like taking photos with this camera. Maybe the only problem that people might have with it is maybe with some inaccurate colors. Sometimes they tend to oversaturate, or it tends to have some funny color replication here and there. But really, you can see that this camera is phenomenal. It really, really does outperform most cameras out there. I think this is probably the most solid camera that's out there on the market right now. And you can see even in restaurants and under difficult lighting conditions, it can take really good pictures. It's not an HTC One or Nokia Lumia 920 when it comes to low light performance, but overall, this camera does very, very well, and it takes better pictures in low light than you would imagine it to be. And it is definitely acceptable, and they definitely pass when it comes to low light photos. So make sure you watch my HTC One versus the Samsung Galaxy S4 low light condition video and versus video. And here are some 1080p samples. The only problem with the video, as I demonstrate here, is sometimes you have to kind of get it to focus 2 or 3 times, maybe even more, to get it to lock into macro focus. But once it does, it looks really sharp and it looks really good. And that's the one thing I like about this camera when I'm shooting video with it, is that it doesn't over focus, or it doesn't keep focusing all the time. That's very good, and also supports tap to focus, which is good, along with autofocus, which is great. And you can see how sharp this video is. It just looks really good. I mean, look at this B. I mean, it's just very detailed, looks really, really good. And I think a lot of people will love taking video with this. And I think this is that one phone package where this thing can definitely replace your normal point and shoot. Of course, point and shoots have more features and maybe a little bit sharper pictures, but this thing comes packed with all kinds shooting modes, more than you could ever even use. And a lot of them you probably won't even use, but you definitely have a lot of choice here with this camera. So very good. This is Danny testing out the 1080p video sample of the new Samsung Galaxy S4, and it does support continuous autofocus. And you can see that. And it focuses pretty quickly, but it also supports tap to focus as well. So see, I can tap it right there real quick, tap to focus, and it works very, very well. So kind of a good in-between of both, maybe the iPhone 5 and Android smartphones, where now touch to focus is very, very good. And unlike the HTC One, you can see that it's not continuous autofocusing all the time. And this is without the software stabilization on. That is not on, and you can set that on in the settings if you need to. Let's go ahead and do some panning real quick to see if there's any kind of screen tears or anything, and how it adjusts to white balance and exposure. And it handles it pretty well, actually, from what I can see on the screen so far. Alright, and this is without HDR, so stay tuned for more videos and photo samples. Seriously, how ridiculous is that microphone? That microphone is amazing for a stock microphone. It sounds awesome. So that's one thing, and it's the best sounding microphone that I have ever heard on a mobile device, and that's for sure. It definitely blows the one out of the water when it comes to audio quality. So here is a sample footage of the HTC One versus Samsung Galaxy S4 low light video. And you can see here that the S4 does very well, and actually, not to ruin it, the S4 actually takes brighter video in certain situations. in low light. So that's kind of weird, but it does tend to have a little bit of weird color accuracy or inaccuracy when you're shooting indoors. You can see that the granite's really not that color, and it tends to kind of make the wood different color. It's really not that dark. It's a little bit different color, but you can see it does pretty well though. It's definitely passable for sure under low lighting conditions. And I think you'll be very surprised with this camera all around. I think it's the most versatile all around shooter to get the most consistent images off of a camera so far in the mobile industry. So Samsung Galaxy S4, kudos to Samsung for this camera and definitely for all the features that it includes. Please follow me on Twitter at SuperScientific and also subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any videos and comparisons that are out there and full reviews of these devices. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.